All right. So for today's topic, that sounded bad.
Listen up, class.
Hey kids. Yeah, no, but just in general, a big thing that's been going on is just like I don't like the word cancel culture that much because it kind of doesn't exist. But one of those things where it's like you're seeing a lot of different media get canceled as it relates to children and the things that they're seeing and what we're presenting to them, whether that be books or whether that be cartoons. So like we've had the Dr. Seuss, and we've had I'll explain them as we get into them. So we've had Dr. Seuss, we've had things with Looney Tunes, and so just in general, how do you all feel? Just general feel. How do you all feel about like changes or like cancellation of like God, I hate using that word, or like just removing certain things from
Sanitizing.
Okay, thank you. How do you feel about
cleaning the filth?
The word I didn't think about it. Yeah, how do you feel about the sanitization of these media for children? And I mean, they're for adults too. Like, yeah, we talk about them as being like children's cartoons and children's books, but you know, adults have to read them or watch them with children. So, how do you all feel about the sanitization of them, just in general, as a general thing, before we get deep?
I feel like this is tough. I was thinking about this on the ride here. You know, because I'm a little frustrated about like the cancellation, like you said, like the cancel culture and canceling all the media and things like that. I think they're like and it's like adults that are doing this for kids. You know what I mean? Like when I was a kid, you know, I'll give you an example like SpongeBob or like I'll even say like Pepe Le Pew or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like these aren't individuals that when I saw them doing things, I was like that's going to impact my life that I want to go do that. Like kiss, you know, a girl that obviously not into me. Huh?
Sorry, I was thinking
No,
about it. Go ahead.
kiss a girl that's not obviously not into me. Like I just don't think a kid's brain is wrapped that way that an adult can come through and say, hey, no, that's not, you know, something I want my kid to say, you know, do or anything like that. I can't see anybody like down the road or in the past that was maybe facing sexual assault and said, I did it because Pepe Le Pew made me do it.
I'm sorry.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying.
Yeah, so with Pepe Le Pew, I don't know if I don't know if Donald Trump said, oh, grab it by the pussy, I used to do the cartoon.
So Pepe grabbed it.
I will say, like, as a kid, like, I guess if you see something like that, like, you're not thinking that's wrong, but you think, oh, it's funny, like how he chases girls around and grabs on them and touches on them. And it's one of the things not like something's gonna make you. I don't think that's gonna make you a sexual assaulter or like a abuser later, but it might just as a kid you might reenact what you see because you know not like it's like oh my god Jimmy is over there fondling little girls, but like you know it's like a learned behavior. I don't think anything should be canceled. I'm kind of as I got older, I'm kind of against like censorship in most forms. I think like it's one of those things where I think like a couple years ago or like a decade ago, they released a DVD of like a bunch of classic Looney Tunes cartoons and
blackface and all that.
I think like Whoopi Goldberg was the host of it. So basically, whenever there was like an episode like that, they had like a clip they would run where like she would just say like, you know, some of the images in here are just it was a different time and you know it was wrong then, it's wrong now, but we're presenting it in its original form. I think that's the way to do stuff. Just explain. Yeah, this is really messed up that we used to draw character. I saw a clip from Tom and Jerry. I've seen every Tom and Jerry episode I thought until the other day I was on Twitter and like Jerry was running from Tom and he went in the mouse hole and like I guess he with his little nephew and I guess while they were in the mouse hole they put on blackface and they put and then they put like a little hair wrap on their head and they came out and like hey Mr. Tom we ain't seen that mouse around here and I was like wow
I didn't see that. That's crazy.
I never saw and then like I guess like the makeup came off and Tom was like it's you guys. So obviously that episode had been censored. I had never seen that episode. I used to watch Tom and Jerry every night again. That's my favorite cartoon. But I'm against censorship. Like I don't think stuff like that should be on Cartoon Network anymore, where kids are going to see that. Right. But like if you're releasing, but like if it's I don't know Boomerang, but if you're like selling like DVDs or something like that, or like
take them out.
Yeah, I mean you can have it in there. I think it's fine to have it in there, but just having like an explanation or have like some type of disclaimer beforehand. And I also think it's on parents to like you know explain to your kid. Oh, we're watching Pepe Le Pew. And the thing about Pepe Le Pew is he never he always got his comeuppance or something. You know what I mean? He never like.
It was never successful.
Yeah, he
But
was
there
always
was
chasing.
same
never
thing. I
got
saw
it.
another example with Johnny Bravo. Because Johnny Bravo was just like, go around, just hit on women. He always gets his ass kicked. He never succeeded. And I don't really think anything is like inherent. Well, like that's not gonna harm a kid watching Johnny. We all watch Johnny Bravo.
Right.
I've never gone up and hey, hot sex him, anything like that.
Oh,
But it would be as a parent, it'd be a good thing. All right, this is just a cartoon. Like this is not the way to behave. That you'll see at the end of this cartoon, he's gonna get his comeuppance. This is what happens when you act like this. So I'm against censorship, just pretty much in general. Just there should be just explanations and like oh, this is why this was.
I'm kind of in that same boat because I feel like you like kind of taking it off the shelves and hiding it so nobody else can see it or not showing it anymore. Like that's almost like hiding like part of a history book almost. Like you wouldn't hide things that happen, racist issues or racist figures just because it's not cool now or just because those things aren't okay now. I think it's important for people to be like at least be able to search it, like you said, be like, hey, this is like Whoopi Goldberg did, like, hey, this is how things used to be shown, just so people are aware of that time and what it is now, and that's not okay now. As far as like things like Pepe Le Pew and the cartoons, like I'm also like against the censorship. And honestly, as a kid, like I never really looked at those things. Like I guess it was because they were a cartoon. I kind of never really like looked and modeled my life after that. I think if anything, people not model their lives, but like with the anime stuff, people kind of take a little lot more interest in their regular life with that type of stuff as opposed to
like how wanted to be Daffy Duck. What do you mean?
Shout out to you or Monstar.
You succeeded.
Thank you.
About to say, but like as far as like when it comes to animals or like different stuff like that, like we're just out there figures like Johnny Bravo, like I don't really see people like chasing after that. So taking out Pepe Le Pew, like I think they took him out of Space Jam. I don't know. I kind of thought that was a little extreme. I mean, you could have rewrote his character, even as the actress. I think had an issue because she was like whatever scene she was in with him, she basically like kind of not whooped his ass, but like basically told him no and all that stuff. And she was like, I think people need to see that. Like I think people like how the times have changed. Like hey, like we like. And I think that was the case back when he was on. Like he would say no. Yeah, he never won.
Yeah, well, I got one go back to that. So, like, because I saw someone also say, so how can you, like, be against the censorship here, but, like, be for taking down, like, Confederate, like, statues? Because that's a form of censorship. The point I would raise to that is, like, there's only statues of Confederate people. Jefferson Davis's claim to fame is literally being Confederate general. A cartoon, like... I mean, every Pepe Le Pew, every Johnny Bravo, there's multiple episodes of these characters where they're not all just, being problematic, right? It's not the totality of, like, the content. Right. With Confederate, like, generals or soldiers, whatever, their totality, their claim to fame is literally being seditionists, being traitors to America. So it's not the same. Damn, I forgot I had another good ass point.
To add on to that though, like the idea of a statue is to give reverence to something. Like we can't taking those out. I'm completely fine with because we don't reverence their values. They were traitors, like you said. Like why are we having statues of them?
Yeah, so like as far as taking Pepe Le Pew out of Space Jam, now like that I don't necessarily have an issue with that only because like it's not like you're taking Bugs Bunny or Daffy Duck out. Like Pepe Le Pew is like a D-list
tertiary
character. Yeah. So like I don't have a problem with that.
I'm not gonna miss
and
him,
like I know I'm jumping ahead, but like with the Dr. Seuss books and stuff like that they're canceling, like it's not like they're canceling Cat in the Hat or is the book
Green
called
Eggs
Green Eggs and Ham? Yeah, okay, like or like the Grinch or
the popular
like
ones.
That. Yeah, like you're taking away like stuff that honestly nobody probably was gonna read anyway. So in that case, like if it's like a problematic, super duper problematic character, like okay, you can take that. You can take that out. Like you can't find an episode of Pokemon that has Jinx in it. I don't think that'll be on American TV.
Yikes.
Because that's an extremely problematic character. Like you would have to. I think you have to go out to find that. But
Wow.
I
remember hearing about that.
Yeah. Mom with a black woman.
Yeah.
Or a caricature, excuse me.
It was
Mammy.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Wow.
Yeah, that's like the fun. That's like the fun of Japanese cartoons. Yeah, no, I guess. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
I guess we jumped all over the place there within that first question.
Sorry,
No, it's fine. I guess just in general though, just kind of thinking about that, what you're saying, or just thinking about what everybody's saying. I guess in general, it's just like so like we said, we do have the new Space Jam movie, which will be coming out this year. Just to kind of jump ahead, I may go back to the book thing. It's fine. We're already talking about Pepe Le Pew anyway. So just in general, we do have the Space Jam movie coming up. And so, like we said, they already did. They removed Pepe Le Pew from the Space Jam movie. And so, I know that basically from what everybody said that you all are against basically like you're against the censorship aspect of it. Mm-hmm. But okay, so rather than removing him from the movie, is there a way to redo the character instead? Can you just change certain things about him so that hey, this is Pepe, but I don't know, just try to make it
Pepe Le Pew?
No, I mean, yes, technically speaking, it'd be Pepe Le Pew because if you think about the way they've done things, like, and that's why I have it, like, and I included in there, they redid Lola Bunny and they desexualized her. They basically made it more of it, which was weird that they sexualized the female rabbit in the first place, but it's what happened. But if you look at,
I haven't looked at this, like, so wait. Is it the way she's drawn that they fixed?
They changed the way
that
I think the way they changed. I think they changed the curvature and the way that she's drawn because they. But I
thought she was crazy.
I mean, if you look at like the old school Lola and the new school Lola, there is a difference between the two.
Who's the joint from Framing Roger Rabbit? Who's that joint?
Jessica Rabbit.
I'm gonna say Jessica Rabbit was way worse than Lola Bunny.
Yeah,
that was the point.
That was adult
character.
That was adult animation. That wasn't for kids.
Yeah, but her character was the point. It was supposed to be a sexual character, like Space Jam.
But with Space Jam, it was still like inadvertently, this is a kid's movie, and you hypersexualize the rabbit. And so they changed it around now. They redrawn Lola Bunny so that, she looks, not, I don't want to say more like a basketball player, like a basketball player has a specific look, but now she looks like a cartoon.
Like a rabbit.
She looks like a cartoon bunny rather than this sexy rabbit. I'm not saying that's what she's supposed to be.
I guess it depends on what the character is supposed to be. Like, I don't think her character was inappropriate in Space Jam. Like, I mean, she was drawn a certain way. I'm not saying you're saying, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, I think it's maybe not a reach, but like, I mean, she's drawn fit, like her hips are situated, and I don't know. I felt like her character was, I mean, because her whole catchline was "Don't ever call me doll," and she talked, I guess, in a seductive voice. But I mean,
that's like you said though. It's "Don't ever call me doll," but at the same time, she still talked in the voice, and she still wore a crop top jersey. Like, I mean, that was unrealistic for women athletes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with it at all.
It's like, bro. I mean, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, so what do you? So just looking at that, can you redo the character?
So I think,
can you do it differently?
Lola Bunny, she was the main character of Space Jam. So yeah, you can redo her character. That's fine. Pepe Le Pew, I think it's probably easy to just leave him out of Space Jam. You don't need him. He scored one bucket.
Some people like Pepe Le Pew.
He scored 1 point. He scored 1 point. He kissed off the guy. That was it. That's all he did.
He put the gas mask on.
Right. That was a pretty. That was important that he did that. That knocking out monsters out. You're right, but
that shit was hilarious.
Yeah. Well,
that's too scenes.
So yeah, okay, yes, or you can. No, Dante's right, or Malik's right. You can have him do that again, right? Just he's a skunk.
Or he can just be the ladies' man. He doesn't have to be like creepy and
salty.
He can still be like smooth, French on and shit.
There was an opportunity,
but that is that's still revamping the character. Yeah, that's like the biggest thing is it's like so that kind of also goes into like where do we draw the line? Mm-hmm. Do we completely drop these characters or do we change them so that it's like hey. This is Pepe. Pepe used to do this, but then Pepe learned this is wrong. Like, and it doesn't have to be like a whole 5-minute thing. It's like 30 seconds. Pepe used to be this, but then Pepe learned.
But then that sounds like it's Sesame Street.
But then it had to be Sesame Street. So listen to me.
This is cartoon.
But I feel like.
I say just change them. Do you need to explain?
This movie,
I'm about to say at that point, to a kid.
That's what I'm gonna say. This movie is not gonna be marketed to us just because we saw Space Jam once. We marketed to kids. So.
But just in general, but it's like
kids watches Looney Tunes right now.
I've heard that argument too, but
it's not for kids. It's for us.
For some odd reason, they still know bugs. Kids know bugs.
I know, but let's be serious here. Our generation's gonna take either our kids or generation our parents.
But even so, think about it. I guess I'll say think about it like this. In terms of revamping characters and adding new dimensions. You've grown since you saw the first Space Jam, right? You saw the first Space Jam, you was 3 years old. You changed. You can make Pepe change. Can we?
No, I agree with that.
I'm not trying to say
that's why I don't want them just taken out.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with. I would just say I don't know if he had the clout or the fan base to warrant that. But if there's like Peppy stands out there, sure, you just.
I'm with you, but I'm just like, it could be like a 30-second throwaway where it's like, oh, Peppy learned to listen to women somehow. Like little kitty cat he used to chase around all the time, taught him to listen. I don't know. But it's like little things you can do to change the character rather. And that's what I'm trying to say.
When I say keep him out of the movie, not I'm saying cancel him. I'm just saying like it might not be worth the squeeze.
But that's how the cancellation goes. It's like we just take him out of movies, and next thing it's the same. It's like you take him out of movies, then he's gone completely. And it's not to say that. Look, if people want to get rid of him, fine. I don't really care. I'm a grown man. But I mean, at the same time, it's just one of those things where it's like like why we don't have to get rid of everything necessarily. There is a way to like explain to kids changes that happen over time, and like you said with like the Whoopi thing, it's like we could do this better, we could do this differently. I don't know what the hell you do with Speedy Gonzalez because he's a Mexican stereotype, and there ain't really no way to fix that. It's not because I have that.
It's so easy though to just erase things though. It's easier to
that's like pushing something under the rug. I mean,
it's easier to just erase something than explain why it was made that way.
Well, I will say like Speedy Gonzalez is. I've seen a decent amount of like Latino people say they really like Speedy Gonzalez. And it's the same. It's the same thing. Like how there's like Native Americans. If you look, there's been polls done that most Native Americans had no problem with the word Redskin as a team name. Now, personally, I felt a different way, but
you're black.
I mean, like I said, if people don't feel the Speedy Gonzalez thing. I mean, again, I wouldn't want to get it. That's a popular character. I wouldn't want to get rid of that.
That's not popular in Pepe Le Pew.
I mean, it's not. But I like Speedy Gonzalez.
I look at Speedy Gonzalez as a representation.
And that's what I was about to say. And I think not like wait. Let me clarify where I think you're trying to go with this, because that's how I kind of thought of it. I think in some of these people, you say they like the character, so in some of their minds, like at least they're trying to market a character towards.
Thank you.
That's what he meant. Making sure that we're
a stereotype.
Yes, but I'm saying some people would argue that's bad representation.
Yeah, but then it's like you said, it's like the 50% of people that are like, oh hey, at least they're trying to put a Mexican in this cartoon, which I mean,
I guess what I'm saying is like I'd rather, if I was gonna make Space Jam 2, I probably would keep both of those characters in. I would just de-emphasize Speedy Gonzalez and Pepe Le Pew. They would just be on the bench, and you would just see them in scenes. I wouldn't just put them in scenes.
Well, they could just be in one scene, just like.
Oh right, and like, but all the historical cartoons, like I would still run them on TV, right? Or maybe have like a disclaimer beforehand, whatever. Maybe I wouldn't run their cartoons every week or every night, but like every couple weeks. Oh, here's a Speedy Gonzalez and Pepe Le Pew.
But I mean, that's like the question I was gonna say, because it's like when you think of these cartoons and like people canceling them, it's like, all right, so where do we draw the line then? Because if we're gonna cancel people based off what they've done historically, then yeah, we would have been got rid of Mickey Mouse, Bugs Bunny, because they all had episodes where they did. Isn't there like an episode where Bugs Bunny does something racist with Asian people?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. Well,
they've all done it. That was the time they all.
And I got you. It's like one of those weird things, and that's what I'm trying to say. It's just like it's one of those things where it's like, yes, it was wrong, it was terrible, but just like if we start plucking them out of everything and just like
it's getting too great. Listen, everything is going to get canceled at some point. Sometimes I get bored on Twitter. I watched a whole thread about people trying to talk about how problematic Harry Potter was because
well, it's about child little soldiers.
They weren't even going that deep in it.
Why? Because
no, they said, well, one, how come none of the black kids did anything? Which I understand, but I was like, whatever. I didn't really.
I mean, black kids are in London, damn it.
I'm gonna say Dean Thomas. He was the only one. But no, they were saying because like Harry Potter's love interest in the fourth book, Cho Chang. She was in Ravenclaw and she was Asian, and apparently they were
wasn't she the snitch?
Because Ravenclaw was like the house of the like the super smart people and stuff like that. But she was like the only Asian character, so it's not like it was like a bunch. But and what else? And some of that I think it was like European having discussion, so I didn't get some of the stereotypes. But apparently like in the movies, like the Weasleys are redheaded or they're like ginger, so like they're from Ireland, so. They were saying, I guess, in the movies, they were blowing shit up because, like, that's what the brothers, Fred and George, they were like tricksters. And so I guess like the IRA back in the 70s, like they were an Irish terrorist gang. They were blowing shit up, like, oh, why are the Irish people? Stuff like that. We get real deep.
Britain and Ireland have their own issues.
So you start getting super deep digging into shit like that, just trying to find something to be offended by.
And that's why it just becomes like where I guess it's like where do you draw the line? Because it's like there's always going to be a problem with everything that you do.
Trying to please everybody, it's impossible.
And it's like, there are certain areas where you do need to sanitize things, apologize. Like Aaron said about having Whoopi Goldberg in the beginning of Not that it has to be Whoopi.
Yeah,
Shout out to Whoopi though.
yeah.
But you know, like
Whoopi, we need you.
Whoopi, we need more.
Get that bag, girl.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, like just having somebody there and say, hey, this happened, wrong, but we gonna show this cartoon. If y'all wanna see it, you can see it. If you don't, you don't. And I think that's kind of just like, you know, we're, you know, just like in general, I think it kind of like goes into like the whole like Dr. Seuss books thing. Because, you know, you're sitting there now, we have these Dr. Seuss books, and for those who don't know, they canceled 6 Dr. Seuss books. I have the 6, I can't tell you all 6 of them on top of my head. I know the one of them that I saw that was the most problematic was If I Ran the
It was
Zoo.
wild. I mean, yeah, that was a wild. That was the one that had the black, had the rap.
And the
like,
Asian
black,
people, the black people were gorillas, the Asian people were carrying people with subservient, had the eyes thing. Kept my hands to myself, almost did it. But it just, of course I have it. But it's one of those things where, I'm going up. But it's one of those things where, it's just like, you know, you see these things and it's just like, you know, it's just like, you see all this and it's just like.
See, something like that, like, I'm fine with, like, taking that out of circulation, because one, that's not, I've never read it.
I'm not
So
saying
I don't really give a shit if you take those away.
I don't know what happened to the
Those
rest of them, but I
problematic.
saw If I Ran the Zoo and I was like, yo, this one right here,
Yeah.
this should probably never see the light of day again.
Right.
But I mean, does it get into a question of what are we censoring and like where, the same question, like where do we stop? Because I mean, if like, should it be the choice of the company? Well, I mean, if the company wants to pull it, I guess it's fine. Then.
Yeah.
But did the company pull it to Amazon?
The company did. They just said.
Company said we're not going to publish no more? Okay, I couldn't remember. Because I was going to say, because we just get to the whole thing of, okay, Amazon's not going to let them do anymore.
I guess my thing is, like, it depends on what you mean by censorship. Like, if they stop, like, publishing it, like,
yeah,
I mean, I think that's totally fine.
That's cool.
No, if they go on, like, a brigade and they just have to, everybody who has this book, you have to register at this website, and there will be a cat in a hat outside your door with a flamethrower. You're going to put the book down, and we're going to burn it. Like, okay, now that's a little much. But, like, if you stop, I mean, the book like that, like, I mean, again, I don't even know if you can explain that. I mean, you can explain that to kids, but it might just be easier.
it's
just to-
worth it.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You
saying.
explain to the kids, they had Africans as gorillas or something. It was some weird scene. It was like, bro, how do you explain that to children?
I just saw the picture. I was like, that.
Yeah, I've never read the book before, but I saw that and I was like, yo, how do you explain having this to children? It's just like, bro, the book literally was like an around the world of stereotypes.
Yeah, it's like
Like,
that.
what do you do with that?
And I wasn't watching it, but I was just flicking the channels a couple weeks on the guide. And like Gone with the Wind, I guess is like an old movie, one of the greatest movies of all time. And I guess I really don't even know the controversy. I think there's like a slave character or like some type of caricature in the movie or whatever, the black woman. And like in the description for the movie, it says there's like sensitive imagery in here and stuff like that. And like I know there's a controversy and people are like, well, that movie shouldn't be played anymore. And I was like, I mean, like if one part of the movie is a little cringe, again, we're gonna call Whoopi Goldberg and like Whoopi just go do something. We're just getting Whoopi paid today. Basically, that's what we're doing.
Whoopi comes on the screen before any problematic scene.
All right.
Now, before we go,
almost there.
There's some real fucked up shit in this. All right, but it's okay. All right, it's okay. You know, it was 1920s. All right.
What we gonna do, guys?
This is what we're gonna do.
like basically from now on, before you watch any slave movie, like you watch 12 Years a Slave, before Slave gets whooped, Whoopi Goldberg comes on the screen.
All right.
So before we go any further,
Niggas get whipped. All right, niggas get whipped.
it's disturbing.
I
They
hate
shouldn't do this anyway. It's trauma porn.
My ex-boyfriend used to do blackface. It's okay. All right.
Who's your ex-boyfriend?
Ted Danson. He did blackface at a comedy club one time. While she was there, and she laughed.
Wow. Shout out to Whoopi though.
Shout out to Whoopi.
Please support her. We're gonna tag Whoopi in the Instagram when we put this up.
Yep, cease and desist will be edited.
We don't talk about Ted Danson in these parts anymore. But yeah, like I mean, shit, man. Like you can't just censor everything. Like, I mean, guys, like for a long time, racism was part of America, right?
Right.
So like, there's going to
norm.
be racism and shit.
For a long time.
It's
It's
embedded.
Oh, you mean more overt racism? Is that
Well,
what you
yeah,
mean?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, you can't, like, there's going to be race in old shit. I'm talking about
okay,
old
gotcha.
shit. Per
Yeah.
Now, again, to go back to the conversation we had a couple months ago. Like, I'm not saying I don't need to see fucking racist caricatures and shit nowadays, or like a story about Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny get together to stop racism. Like I don't need to see shit like that. But I'm just saying, like, shit in the past, like, you know. But
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't really like him though.
I don't know about that.
Justice, no peace.
Nah.
That Daffy, it's pretty dark.
Pretty dark. I don't know about
Yeah,
that.
no racist police my ass.
Some of them had it coming, Mac. I'm just telling you.
Oh boy, can't say that.
But like, yeah, I'm
the
becoming more and more just anti-cancel culture. I do feel like cancel culture is like I hate that word, like you said, Dante, but it is a real thing. And the thing is, like, it's. I mean, that woke leftist smile. I hate using that word, but it's true because like it took damn near a year to get fucking Andrew Cuomo canceled because he was a Democrat. He's finally getting canceled now. Yeah. So I mean,
they must
like,
have found some extra shit.
Some extra buck. He only getting canceled because he out here groping women.
I'm about to say.
He ain't getting canceled for the old people he killed.
So, but yeah, it's like I just I think we definitely like Malik said. I don't agree with everything that Malik says, but it's.
You put a disclaimer on
Malik. I'm just saying, like there's levels of this shit. Like it's nuanced conversation, right? Like I don't think we need to go and just send Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith to everybody's door and fucking mind wipe Pepe Le Pew from it.
It didn't happen.
Whoa. Like, bro, he was there. He was in the first Space Jam. He didn't play a big role. Like everybody said, he didn't play a big role. And even in this one, it was like, it goes to like what you were saying. It's like, yo, the actress still wants the scene to be in there just to show it. And it's like, yo, it is a teachable moment. Like, kids do need to see, like, I mean, like you said, kids don't completely act out everything we see on TV. Like, when you
especially with cartoons.
It doesn't make any sense like that. But it's like, yo, they should see that, yo, if you sit around and you treat a woman like this, you'll get a drink thrown in your face or some weird stuff. Or
I will say, though, we don't need, like, if they make a new Looney Tunes series tomorrow, you don't need like 6 Pepe Le Pew episodes of that happening. You know what I mean? Like you don't need to 6 episodes. Even if he gets like his comeuppance at the end, like that is a character that like I don't think today really serves a purpose. I'm just saying like it's an old character, so that's fine. But like if it was a character that just poked up today, someone at Cartoon Network just drew him today and he had a show on TV. Well then no, like yeah, we don't need. Right. New shit like that.
Give Pepe Le Pew a hobby, bro.
Yeah,
bro.
They can be an artist, some shit.
Absolutely, but it's like at the same time, it's like when you think about like removing these parts of like your when you think about removing these cartoons and canceling them, it's like you're trying to like whitewash your history. You're trying to make it seem like you were always this perfect.
Right, but that's not the case.
You're trying. You make it sound you were always this perfect thinking organizations like that. It's like, yo, nah, things were messed up. Y'all operated the way that y'all saw fit in the 1950s when people were talking to women like this, and people approved of it. Not to say it wasn't right; it was always wrong. But it's like people thought that was how it could go, and they didn't have a problem with it. It's like these things are a part of your history. And your history isn't always something you're proud of.
And I guess I'm talking about strictly like art and entertainment. Art. Like if it comes out that whoever I forgot the guy's name who came up with the Looney Tunes was. It turns out that like he was like a Klan member and he ate babies and killed puppies and stuff like that. He should be canceled. Don't talk about him no more. Right. Leave the Looney Tunes away. Like the art and all that, I'm cool with. People there's a little bit of a
people should,
there's nuance there, but I mean basically anything can be canceled nowadays. Like that is where we're getting at. Just if one person doesn't like one thing, like
anybody can get it.
Anybody can get it. And the thing is, people are starting to get it. Like I mean, honestly, I'm waiting for. And I think about this. Oh, this is a whole nother topic. We might talk about this. I don't remember. I'm waiting for one of these like blue check white liberals to get some balls and start trying to come at hip hop again. Because like. They're really scared to come against black culture about that, but like, I just feel like that is coming soon. We're like, damn, that Throat Baby video, that was a lot. That was one of the wildest videos ever.
I'm surprised that was like. That was such a BET happening.
I'm surprised it's on the radio.
The song in and of itself is wild. Is it the remix video?
Yes.
With the baby,
The baby. No,
they're like
I think I did see the video.
There's like they're riding down a girl's throat and she's like coming in her mouth. There's like a lot.
Yeah. See, he's literally coming down. He's in her mouth. Yeah, motherfucking skis. Well, it's supposed to be snow, but it's coming down her mouth.
Gotcha.
It's like the slopes.
Tiana Trump is in it.
A word? I didn't even know.
And then the City Girls have just like some of the foulest lyrics I've ever heard. Like, oh god, like I had to take a shower after that. Like, the song ain't that good.
But it's some of the white liberals that come after hip hop. It's the white conservatives.
But I'm saying, the white conservatives, that's not the people canceling.
I got you.
The liberals that are doing it. That's what I'm saying. I just think I think that's coming. I think eventually, because I mean, pretty much, you know, like
It won't even.
trying
I'll
to
say
cancel
this:
too.
it won't even be the white liberals worry about trying to cancel it. About it should be like black. It should be like black people, kind of sort of, because like we've seen in the past, like when we have like these certain like events where like older black women will sit there and like ask people, "Yo, how do you write these lyrics?" And they will sit. It's happened in the past. I can't think. Like they've come with people like Nelly before for things that he said. So
yeah, I just don't think it's. I don't think it's the older people. I think.
Oh, you mean younger?
I think the people who are doing the canceling, there's a certain type of people who are doing it.
Yeah, it's definitely the young people. It's
okay.
definitely young
But I
people.
guess I'm like, yo, well, older black people trying to been talking about for a while.
Like,
I
don't think they care enough to sit there and try to cancel something. But like,
I got
the people who will sit on Twitter who are usually white and liberal
and just go after. Okay, I got
like you know, those are the people who, I mean, again, like Malik said, they will come for everything at some point, and you know, it's definitely a thing. Now, again, it's one of those things where like. There's truth to it, but then like you know you talk to like a conservative or like a Tucker Carlson, they'll tell you that they want to cancel everything, they want to go and do da. I mean, it's a little bit more nuanced than that, but
Yeah. I just think you need to give people opportunity to grow, unless they do some wild shit like we talked about this.
I just think it's nuanced. We can't wrap this. We can't wrap this one in a neat little bow, right? Like it's every situation is different. There's levels to it. Like not everything fits in a box when it comes to. What
about to say, I'm sorry.
They're cutting everybody off.
I was gonna say, let the record show. It's not like we sitting here wearing like Pepe Le Pew for life T-shirts. Like we not riding for this nigga like that. But it's just like one of those things where it's like, yo, there's the gray to every conversation that's kind of overlooked. Everything ends up being black and white. It'd be like to cancel or not to cancel.
Yes.
So it's like, yo, we gotta. In America, we really just in general we have to look to that gray more. Like it feels like a lot of things these days just kind of go far left or far right. There's a lot of gray. We really got to look to that gray and look for what we can do and how we can operate in that gray. And like with cancel culture, God, I hate that word. It's one of those things where it's like it needs to be operated more so in the gray.
I will say though, one plus, and I don't like cancel culture, but one plus, a lot of people are taking more accountability for the shit that they do.
And that's one of the
I say that's one huge plus because you've never seen this many people apologizing, like ever. Like, when you see this many, so every week you see a celebrity.
But are
apologizing
you
for some shit.
really sorry, and do you?
That's another level to it.
That is like the hard.
Really
That's
sorry.
why. That's what I said it gets gray. It's like, yo, who's really sorry for this stuff?
Right.
Like who really? Like who
I don't
cares?
think Myers Leonard was sorry. I don't think Andrew Cuomo was sorry either.
Not at the time.
God.
He's sorry now. That's for sure.
All right, we're at 55 minutes. Springs playing. Well, yeah, you already brought the plane in. I think you did a good job there. One thing I will say about Pepe Le Pew, he had the best. He had the best 3-point skill in the Space Jam video game.
Oh,
So
never
it was
played
just
it.
like-
I never had the
It
game.
was 2
I
and
had
2
it.
or 3 and 3. I think I used to love that.
Was it second? Was it second Dreamcast?
I had it on PlayStation 1.
Oh, I had it.
That was my game.
Y'all remember that soundtrack?
Was pretty good.
Yeah, and R. Kelly on it. Can't play it no more.
There's
There's
a lot of other great songs.
Man, I believe I can fly a song. Let's not kid on.
We all singing.
Monica
We
too.
got the Monica.
I would cross the ocean
Can't
for
remember.
you.
Oh,
They better have a good ass soundtrack.
Free C Murder. Shout out to Monica.
This is gonna be a little
Monica
bit
told me
Tomo
so.
baby. That's it.
To me, Jack.
Fit the band up
And
with
Jack
you.
I
Harlow.
mean, Jack Harlow, Post Malone.
Maybe Anderson Paak.
It's definitely gonna be a Jack Harlow. Back when the radio mix, I would
I'm
have
depressed.
I like his album.
I'm back with the Space Jam too.
I
I get the goo like Space Jam boo.
Damn, that's smooth.